welcome back to Gravity Rush 2, the second one, not the third one, even though this feels like the third one.
Gravity Rush 2 Part 3.
Half-Life.
You know what they really probably should have done is make this an expansion pack to give themselves more time to flesh it out. That way it would feel sort of like a third game, but not quite.
So I was going to get into this at the end of the last part, but at the end of the day, I mean, weird gravity shifting powers aside, this is basically just like an open world sandbox action adventure game. You know, that's a very broad genre, but it has a lot of general appeal, you know. So it's something that I think, you know, weird gravity controls aside, it has a lot of wide-reaching appeal. It still probably will be a cult game because of the weird gameplay and controls, but it's much more accessible and intuitive than a game like, say, Etrian Odyssey, which, you know, is an extremely archaic on purpose
first-person labyrinth
dungeon
RPG,
crawler.
yes.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm not trying to say that Etrian Odyssey is bad. I enjoy those games, but, you know, they're intentionally for a specific niche crowd.
Yeah.
And there's like 8 of them, if you count the Persona spin-offs. So
yeah.
I don't see why we can get 8 Etrian Odysseys, which also have a tiny budget, and not a third Gravity Rush. You know, I mean, granted, any given Gravity Rush game probably takes more money to make than a Etrian Odyssey, but still, it's like, I think that you could make the argument that this is worth making, even if it's not going to make a ton of money.
Are you trying to scare the people out of the line?
I'm bored. It's a line. When do we get to the ride?
This is the ride.
Wow,
Yippee!
PAX East got rowdier quicker than usual.
Oh my god, I wish I had gravity manipulation powers in PAX.
What, so that you can just yoink
It's like
everybody
the
out?
line's long? Well, not anymore.
Dude.
But I also lift up the peripherals and I destroy everything. I didn't really take this out.
Dude, at PAX East this year, they sold out of the Animal Crossing merch before anybody who could even get onto the show floor could buy it. Like, literally, the media hour people bought all of the Animal Crossing merch before
We're just scalping Animal Crossing memorabilia.
Oh, probably, yeah. Crazy Red's PAX East Animal Crossing gear.
Fuck Crazy Red.
Instead of the Tom Nook logo, it's the
Why did she?
Actually, hold on. That'll be a particular.
Why did she just ask you that question out of the blue and then? Okay.
The game's music is still great, though.
Yeah, it's
You can find
remixes of the actual
the Animal Crossing Isabelle pins for like $30.
Wait, $30 for those pins? God damn! I gave mine away for free. I didn't know I could make a profit off of that.
Being good-natured, sucker.
Yeah, I sent it to a friend of mine who wasn't able to go.
As they say, Ted, nice guys finish last.
Does that saying?
Gotta get on that hustle, man.
Does that saying?
So what does it say if I usually get like third from the bottom?
What does that say? Does that saying even mean what people think it means?
I think it probably not. No, because I'm not even sure what it actually means.
It means you're putting everyone else ahead of you, which means you.
Well,
come
that's what
last,
that's what everyone thinks it means, but I don't think that's what it originally meant.
No, that's what it means.
Well, that's their interpretation. What's your interpretation?
Huh? No.
Well, you said you don't think. So, do you think or do you know?
Well, I've never looked it up.
That's
so
oh my god, that's
well.
a great line, John. Hold on, I'm writing that down. Like,
okay.
That's like actually
Origin of nice guys finish last.
That's like some Yoda tier shit, John. Jesus Christ, wow. I mean, you are approaching. Wait, you're actually 30 now, right?
I'm 32.
You're 32? Wow, you're old. Yeah, you're like.
Oh, okay. Nice guys finish last. This is a mentalfloss.com article, apparently. Nice Guys Finish Last is not from some pickup artist. Although it's been co-opted as a justification for certain men's bad behavior and a popular lament, or is it a humble brag, to describe others' lack of prospects, the term originally was about finishing last in the baseball standings. Okay.
Huh? I mean, I guess
pretty sure it still means what I think it means.
I mean, I suppose that makes sense. Where it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't steal this base. Yes, tag me out. What, you want it right over the middle of the plate? Sure thing, bud. Here you go. Good job, man. Another home run. I'm proud of you.
The Nice Guys Finish Last line came about because of Eddie Stanky, too, and wholly by accident. I'm not going to back away from it, though. It is blah, 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 blah. This is actually quite a bit long.
So, wait, there's a baseball player named Eddie Stanky?
Probably old-timey.
Yeah, but still, why would you name your child that? That's, like, actually cruel.
It's probably a nickname more than anything.
Yeah, his real name is Edward Raymond Stanky.
Huh.
Okay. Well, then he can't change his last name.
Oh, okay. He's
Then-
he's
Sure,
totally
yeah,
doing it.
not with that attitude.
The nice but hapless Giants ended up finishing the season in honest-to-goodness last place. And when the article was reprinted that fall in Baseball Digest, the crucial switch from 7th to last was made. Okay, this is...
Where were you when BrainScratch referenced Edward Raymond Stanky?
Okay.
I believe he played on the team with Mordecai Three-Finger Brown.
Okay, so okay. So apparently the saying originated with a specific team that finished last in the baseball standings and who were known as being, really nice people. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, because when somebody was about to get on base, they just didn't have the heart to tag him out.
That guy, he's such a nice guy. I can't do that to him.
Look, he's almost made 7 runs this
Okay,
game.
that's
And
not...
it's only second inning. We have to let him go for it, right?
I had a feeling that saying was not, originally meant to say exactly what it does today, but, well, now I know.
Yeah, but language and interpretations change over time.
Oh, yeah, I know.
so-
I'm just saying, I doubt a lot of the people who parrot that saying have any idea where it originally came from, so I wanted to know where it came from.
I guess it's not that it particularly matters where it came from. It's just
Oh,
what
yeah,
it
I
means
know.
now.
I only asked because it's been itching at my brain every time I hear the sentence, and it's only...
Fuck it, we got time to kill. So let me look up the original meaning.
Are we committing crimes in the game at the moment?
No, he wants to go around.
Oh, okay.
And crash into every spire along the way.
Is this guy also evil?
What do you think?
Probably.
He's got a monocle.
But he's talking about his daughter. I
Who
mean,
cares?
that probably means
He's
that
talking about her in the past tense.
Yeah, she suffers from a horrible disease. Oh wait, no, this guy's absolutely a villain. Because he's a complicated and tragic figure because he's just doing it to help his sick daughter.
Justice.
Thy name is Chin.
Do your dialogue choices matter?
Not really.
Most of the time in that, you just get different flavor text. So now
Yeah,
it's a matter of picking one, get the flavor text, reset the game. Okay, I'm going to pick Justice this time.
Yeah, it's just flavor text, but at least there's a somewhat different conversation to come from it compared to my own ding counter here, Skyward Sword, where you have one different text blurb that doesn't change anything, and then it's right back to the script.
Yeah, Japanese game developers in particular didn't focus a lot on, I want to say, player choice and the way we understand it these days.
Yeah.
They've only really started implementing it at all in games more recently, really.
I also feel like their idea of player choice is different from how we do it. I don't think that there aren't a lot of games in Japanese-made game that try to have something akin to Mass Effect's Paragon and Renegade thing. I mean, granted, you can make a lot of arguments that Mass Effect's Paragon and Renegade system is not the best implemented version of any sort of personal choice or morality.
Well, yeah,
Kind of.
it's kind of a simplified version of what other Western RPGs have been doing all the time since, well, since they started, really. You know, trying to mimic that pen and paper freedom of choice feeling.
Yeah, even as far back as like the old Ultimas, they had systems in place to be similar to
Oh yeah,
pen and
and
paper.
I mean, the first three Ultimas were basically experience point grindy adventures to kill a bad guy, but then the fourth game went and devised this entire really complicated morality system, which is to this day incredibly impressive considering that it's still just like a mini pixel DOS game.
Is that the one where you can't get experience if the animals you're trying to fight run away because
You
that's
can
dishonorable?
you can absolutely get experience, but if you kill animals as opposed to monsters, and if you attack things that are actively running away, you will lose points in. I think it's the honor virtue.
How weird.
It makes
What difference does it make? What difference does it make if they're monsters, though?
well, if they're monsters, they're probably attacking you for an evil purpose. If they're animals, they're attacking you because they're hungry. You know, it's basically the reason that Mark Hamill got mad when they were making Empire Strikes Back, because they changed the script so that he kills the Yeti instead of just singeing its fur like he does in the book.
Oh, I didn't know that he got it.
Oh
upset
yeah,
about that.
Mark Hamill's an animal lover. When they were doing that scene in the movie, he asked specifically, "We're not killing this thing, right? We're just gonna singe its fur." And they said, "Yeah," but then they went and had it cut off his arm. It went and had him cut off its arm, which presumably was a post-production special effect that they added. Interestingly, in the novel, it does actually say Luke only singed the what is it, a wampa? That it only singed the monster's fur instead of killing it, and he ran away while it was in pain. But Mark Hamill was not happy with that particular change.
I mean, if they specifically told him that it wasn't going to die and then they killed it, then I'm sure he has every reason
Yeah,
to be.
but
I
you
mean,
know,
I suppose it makes sense in character, though, because Luke at that point doesn't know how to use
that
a lightsaber.
that was what Mark Hamill
And-
said. Well,
Yeah.
no, what he? Oh no, I misunderstood what you were about to say. He said,
Yeah.
you know, Luke wouldn't have just killed it. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I can absolutely see a situation where Luke tries not to kill it, but since it's a lightsaber and has no sense of weight or balance, it's just like holding a water bottle or whatever, trying to singe it and then accidentally cutting its arm off.
Well,
Could definitely be a thing that happens.
by the time Empire
know?
Strikes Back happens, he's been using a lightsaber for a couple years, actually, so he's got time. He's had time
Okay.
to learn.
I mean, I'm not super in tune with a lot of the expanded universe stuff, so we
yeah.
don't really get the sense that he's. I never got the sense that he did much
Yeah,
training with it after
the time
Obi-Wan died.
the time between movies is a bit vague, but there's a couple years, just vaguely a couple years of rebels doing rebel things between the first movie and the second movie. And then the third movie is really close to the second movie. It's yeah, the timeline's a bit hard to keep track of if you're only going by the movies. I understand that.
I mean, to be fair though, this is also the series that forces you to actually read a Wikipedia article before every movie starts. So
Nowadays, yeah.
well, no, since the beginning, like literally. The most iconic thing about Star Wars is the music plays and you read for 30 seconds before the movie actually starts.
There's not actually a whole lot of text in the opening crawl, though. It just scrolls by slowly enough that it feels like a lot. But every one of
It's just three paragraphs.
every
yeah.
one of the novelizations includes the opening crawl as a text blurb at the beginning of the novel, and it's really short. Like, it's just a few lines, really. So,
It takes a
Yeah.
lot longer when you actually have to sit there and read it
Yeah.
at the movie's pace instead
I'm listening to music.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But that was a part of Gravity Rush, I suppose.
I suppose it
We will
was.
see you all for the next part of Gravity Rush, where we may or may not talk about it.